Now this year is the first year, if you go to vote, you got to show ID. Even though if you look at the statistics and the numbers of people voting illegally, it's less than 1%. But we now have to show ID to vote. My name is Eric Ewing. I'm the executive director here at the Great Plains Black History Museum. And you're about ready to see something that you can only see at the Great Plains Black History Museum and at Mount Nebo.
Black history in Omaha mean to you and should mean to Omaha residents?
It means a rich, unknown treasure that a lot of folks aren't aware of. A lot of wonderful things have happened here in the city of Omaha that almost on a daily basis when I have folks come in and visit, they say they didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Dr. Ricketts, he was the first black state senator, and he is responsible for actually starting the first having the first black firefighters here in the state of Nebraska. And they were some of the first paid firefighters in the United States. He was a doctor, and he has a lot of successful things, and unfortunately, you know, sometimes when you do great things, some envy can pop up, and it led him to leave the state to continue to pursue his career. He was an OBGYN doctor. Malcolm X, born here May 19th, 1925. You know, the interesting thing is, I knew about Malcolm X, but I didn't know he was from here until I was much older. We still have folks that come and visit the museum who know of him, but then when I say he's from the city of Omaha, they're like, I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yes, he was born here on 36th and Evans, I believe it was. And he lived there up until his father was killed, and then he moved out of the city, and I believe it was to Detroit. What happened to his father, you know, if we kind of look at what happened and how they killed him, that could actually be viewed as a lynching. European American individuals had him put him on the streetcar track, the rail track, and he was ran over by one of the streetcars, I believe. Kathy Hughes. Now, a lot of folks, if you think you didn't know about Malcolm, a lot of folks, when I say Kathy Hughes, they say Kathy who? But Kathy Hughes is one of the richest African-American women in the United States, and at one time she was the second richest African-American woman in the United States. She used to own a cable TV station called TV One, but she has since sold that, but she owns a bunch of radio stations under the Radio One brand. Her mom was woman power before it was even a term. Her mom sung in an all-female band known as the International Sweethearts of Rhythm. They played upstairs at what was the Dreamland Ballroom at the time and throughout the United States. And her father was a CPA. He actually had his office across the street in the Omaha Star Building. Fontanelle Boulevard, they renamed that about 2 or 3 years ago, well actually about 4 years ago now, and after her. I had the opportunity, I've met her in a large social environment, and when they did the street naming for her, I had an opportunity to go to Mr. Goodwin's home where he had a barbecue for her and meet her and talk to her. If you're not aware of the story of Will Brown was, although not from Omaha, he lived here in 1919, and he unfortunately was killed in a lynching. He was accused of raping a European American young female, while holding a perfectly healthy young white male off at gunpoint and then running away. Two things he couldn't have done: he couldn't have held the gun because he was stricken with arthritis, and he couldn't have run away because he walked with a prominent limp. And unfortunately, after his death, the woman he was allegedly raped admitted to the fact that he never raped her.
The history of Omaha is not all good.
No. And that could be said for any city, any city, any town. It's unfortunate, you do have the hate, but then you do have other things that tie more in with the hope and the more positive things as well. But I always share with folks, even with all the hate and all the negative things, as Maya Angelou would say, but yet still we rise.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our African American History event. We've got, as you see here, Mr. Chester French, who is the nephew to Charles Jackson French, and the story is incredible.
It's an honor and a privilege to represent the French and Harris families. After 80 years, he's being recognized for saving 15 survivors in the sinking of the U.S. Gregory during World War II. He swam while towing them on a raft through shark-infested water. Now, can you imagine out in the ocean, the water's not warm, the water's not clean, salty, cold. You got sharks, and here through the act of God is carrying him through this, what he had to do. There were 15 men within the raft. He swam 5 to 8 hours. When all this happened, basically he received a piece of paper, just a piece of paper, literally I'm saying a piece of paper saying what he happened. Due to his color, actually he should have received something much higher. But there's a lot of things that are going on within those years within minorities within the service. A flag presentation at the Black Museum, and basically the flag will be presented to me, but I'm going to present it to the family, but I'm going to present it to the Black Museum, for they're going to start a section there of memorabilia of things on Charles Jackson French. 2021, Congressman Don Bakeman submitted a bill to name the Benson Post Office after Charles Jackson French.
We needed to hear this story. It's not African American history, it's American history. America chose to leave that most important part of history out. It's our responsibility to bring it back in to the conversation.
The famous African-American Hall of Famers that came out of the city of Omaha, basically from a 20 by 30 block radius here in the city of Omaha. You have Bob Gibson, who was a baseball Hall of Famer, also two-time MVP of the World Series. When you watch a baseball game today and you see where the pitcher's mound is located, the height and the distance it is, you can contribute that to Gibson. The mound used to be higher and closer, but he threw the ball so hard it made it difficult for batters to hit. So they lowered the mound down and they moved it farther out. So he's a significant individual. You also have Gale Sayers, Football Hall of Famer, youngest player to be inducted into the Football Hall of Fame. He played for the Chicago Bears. In addition to that, you had his brother Roger Sayers, who was a tremendous athlete, track star. He beat the legendary Bob Hayes in track meets twice when they ran track in college. You also have Bob Boozer, Basketball Hall of Famer, Olympic gold medal winner, NBA champion. You have Marlon Briscoe. Marlon Briscoe was the one that opened the door to the last year's Super Bowl quarterbacks, which was the first time they had two African American quarterbacks starting the Super Bowl. But he was the first African American to start at quarterback in the NFL for the Denver Broncos. You also have Johnny Rodgers, Heisman Trophy winner, and you have currently the pound for pound best boxer in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. When you come to the Great Plains Black History Museum, what you're going to learn about is American history. First and foremost, it's American history, told through the lens of African Americans. And the reason why I say it's American history, because it's not just history in which we as African Americans need to be aware of, it's history that we all as Americans need to be aware of. It's rich, understanding and learning these things also lets you know the contributions that everyone has given to make America what it is. It's beyond just sports. It's all industries and things in which we've touched from the inventing standpoint, from just being a valuable resource to the community. And it's someplace that we make it easy for you to come to because we're free to the public. Because as I share with everyone, our goal is to include, not to exclude. So we don't charge anyone for coming in, but donations are gladly accepted and appreciated.